What's going on, guys? Today I'll be doing a review of the Punch Equipment Fuerte Ultra Boxing Gloves, so stay tuned.
Uber up the styles like miles and shit. Like 60s funky worms with waves and perms. Just sending junky rhythms right.
What's up, guys? So today we have these Punch Equipment Fuerte Ultra boxing gloves. We'll do a close-up weigh-in and review on. These are Punch Equipment's Japanese / winning style inspired gloves. Now I know on their website as well as on the gloves themselves, they say that they're a Mexican style glove, but after talking to the team over at Punch Equipment, they verified that these are actually supposed to resemble more of winning style boxing gloves. So I wanted to clarify that before we went any further with this review. They do have their Fuerte Elite gloves I did a review on, which are supposed to be more of their Mexican style gloves. But for those of you that are looking for a winning alternative, in my opinion, these are probably the closest in terms of how they feel and how they perform to all the other winning inspired gloves I've tried. And I've tried the Ring to Cages, I've tried the Fighting Sport Furies, I've pretty much tried, Top Boxer Win One. I've pretty much tried every winning style inspired glove out there, and in terms of fit and feel, these are probably the closest, and I'll break that down here in the review. But to show you guys close up, it's a full leather constructed glove. This glove is made in Pakistan, so just want to clarify that as well. But full leather construction, you can see it has this Velcro strap with the Punch Equipment logo on back of the strap as well as the back of the glove. You can see the leather close up. It doesn't have a really grainy texture to it. It has much more of a kind of a flat and slick feel with a decent amount of shine to it. It's not super shiny. It's not dull or flat. It's kind of in between, right in the middle. But you can see the actual grain. And I've been using these gloves for a couple weeks now. You can see a little bit of imperfection inside on the fingertip area. This glove uses a combination of latex and injected molded foam. So you're getting a little bit of best of both worlds in terms of feedback and protection. You do have a leather attached thumb. And just like winning, you do have the white piping around the thumb. And that's really the only color contrast that's going on with this glove. Outside of that, there's nothing too crazy going on outside of the logos. It does say relaxed fit. And you can see symmetry-wise, both gloves look pretty symmetrical. Pretty well broken in, nice and soft to the touch. And flip them both over to kind of show you guys how they look next to each other. Give you guys a good close-up again of the leather. Again, you can see the shine on that. One thing you do notice, and this might just be where they source the materials from, but the piping is a different hue of blue than the leather itself around the glove. So you can see it almost has kind of more of a turquoise look to it than the rest of the glove. Obviously it doesn't really matter in terms of performance, it's just more of an aesthetic. but I figured I'd point that out, just a little bit difference in color. And then the inside liner, they use this nice, really smooth satin liner that doesn't bunch up, which I really like. So it's really nice and cool and comfortable on your hand. Now weight-wise, these are the 16-ounce gloves. You can see that they have a little scale right there on the tag. And they really take pride in making sure that these gloves are pretty true to weight. So let's go ahead and put these on the scale and see how much they weigh. So the right glove is right at 16.4, so that's pretty close. And the left glove is right at 16.5. So they're about equal to each other in weight, and they're pretty darn close to 16 ounces. So that's really nice to see, especially in a training glove. Obviously a pro fight glove, you have to be on point with the weight. But a lot of times we see a lot of Mexican style gloves that are like 2 to 3 ounces overweight, and you can just tell by picking them up that they're super heavy. Or there's some gloves that are way underweight. You might get a 16-ounce glove for sparring, and then you put it on the scale and it's like 12 ounces. So it's really nice to see that they kept everything on point with the weight with these gloves. So on to the review. What's going on, guys? Carlo here, and today I'll be doing a review of the Punch Equipment Fuerte Ultra boxing gloves. I got mine in blue. You can also get it in red, and you can get it between 12 to 16 ounces. So you have 2 colors and 2 sizes to choose from. I decided to go with the 16 ounce for training. They currently only make this glove in a Velcro strap. Unfortunately, do not make it on lace-up. Hopefully sometime in the future they will add a lace-up to this glove, because I think they really need to. It's a really underrated glove that's been kind of flying under the radar. I know that this glove has been out for quite a while now, and I'm really, really happy that I found these gloves. They're actually one of my favorites for several reasons. The main reason on how comfortable and how well they perform. Now, Punch Equipment is a company that's based out of Australia. They've been around for a couple of years now, and they specialize in making all kinds of boxing and combat-related equipment. Their Fuerte line, which includes the Ultras, at least they also have some bag gloves, is kind of their rendition of a Mexican-style glove. But the big difference between them and most traditional Mexican-style gloves, outside of where they're manufactured, is that they really put an emphasis on comfort with these gloves. Both their Elite and their Fuerte Ultra gloves are super comfortable, really broken in. When you put it on, it feels like it's just like you're putting on a sock on your hand. And that's really what they were trying to achieve with this glove, and I think they did a really fantastic job of that. Now, the glove itself, you can see, has a medium-sized profile design-wise, which I really like. I think that this glove is perfect to accommodate all hands of all different sizes. So if you do have larger hands, fat fingers, long fingers, small hands, medium hands, I think that as comfortable and plush as the interior compartment is, as well as how soft and flexible the outside of the glove is, it really accommodates your hands, so you don't really feel those pinch or pressure points that you typically get in a lot stiffer glove. So I really like that they were able to achieve that. So you can see it does have a medium-sized profile. You do have the Punch Equipment Fuerte oval logo that's screen printed on the back of the glove, as well as the cloth patch that's stitched onto the back of the Velcro strap. It does have a pretty soft touch feel to it. It doesn't really have too many sharp edges on here. I feel like these are dulled out. So if you were to use these for sparring, I really wouldn't worry about scuffing or cutting your sparring partner open. Although a lot of times people end up taping over that, so that's pretty much negligible. You do have the 16-ounce weight tag right here on the back, as well as the words "Relax Fit" that's printed on the Velcro strap. And that's, again, just kind of something they take pride in with these gloves, is that when you put these gloves on, there really is no break-in period with that, which I really appreciate. And I know a lot of people that are into more of a traditional style boxing training would really like, because you don't really have to worry about kicks, knees, elbows, and that type of stuff. It's just purely punching. So, in boxing, when you put your hand in there, you want to be able to really, turn your hand over, really curl your fingers and make a great fist. And having a broken-in glove like this one really allows you to do so from the get-go. You don't really have to break it in or go through any kind of like pain period of breaking those gloves in, which I really like. So you can see it does have the full 3.5-inch Velcro strap that goes all the way around. One thing I did notice, which I mentioned earlier in the close-up video, is that the piping is a little bit of a different hue of blue than the rest of the glove on the palm side as well as on the Velcro strap. Kind of has a little bit more of a turquoise look to it. Again, it doesn't affect the performance or the quality of the glove. It's just more of an aesthetic that I noticed, that they use 2 different kinds of material on the piping as well as on the glove itself. You do see it does have a medium-sized grip bar as well as a full leather attached thumb. It does not have ventilated holes, which I would have loved to see. Is add some ventilation there. That way, it allows the air, the glove to air out. And then you can see the actual leather itself has kind of a nice, slick, smooth shine to it. It doesn't feel super textured like some gloves I've had, like some of the Grants or even the new Sportings, the Box AOTMs have a little bit more of a grainier feel, and that's just where they source their leather hides from. With this one, it does have a nice thick feel to it, but it also feels very slick. You don't really feel that there's much leather texture here. These gloves are made in Pakistan, but are advertised to be designed in Mexico. But overall, you can see there just the overall design kind of resembles Winning. Now, that was what they were trying to achieve with this glove, was to make this their rendition of Winning, or a Japanese-inspired glove. And I really think that these are the best rendition of Winnings, not just from an aesthetic standpoint, but on the way they feel. I've reviewed a ton of different gloves, especially the Winning-inspired ones, the Ring to Cage C17s, the Fighting Sport Furies, Top Boxer Win 1, Triumph United Bushido. I mean, I'm probably forgetting a couple of others. There's been so many, but in terms of fit and feel and the way they feel when you hit your target, these probably do the best job of replicating Winning. Now, as far as quality goes, it's definitely different there. But in terms of just the way they feel when you put your hand in it, these are definitely the closest thing to Winning that I've tried so far. Now, quality-wise, the gloves are pretty good overall. One thing I did notice with these gloves was the actual stitching on certain areas, especially like right here on the grip bar. It's starting to unravel a little bit, so some quality control things right there that you would like to see done a little bit better. But that was really the only area, other than just that grip bar, that I had issues with stitching. I did notice that there was a little bit of imperfections I noticed inside of the foam. They use a blend of both latex foam and injected molded foam in this glove, so you get a little bit of a balance between both. You get the protection of IMF, injected molded foam, as well as the flexibility and the feedback that you would get from a latex glove, which is what they primarily use in Mexican style glove, is latex foam. So you can actually see here the foam itself has a really nice medium density to it, not too hard, not too soft as well. But the stitching outside of the grip bar here looks pretty good throughout the glove. You can see that the attached thumb looks really nice. Stitching looks really good there, all the way around. You do have a full-length piece of Velcro that goes all the way around. One thing I like what they did here is that not only did they start on the outside of the glove, but they actually wrapped it all the way around to the inside palm side of the glove. So you essentially have a little bit more, I'd say about 2 inches extra of Velcro when you close this glove off. So, for those of you that really have larger wrists and maybe might expand the bottom cuff out a little bit more, this gives you a little bit more Velcro to really lock in your wrist, which I can appreciate. So I like that they incorporated just a little bit of extra Velcro on the inside wrist to give you a little bit more protection if you do have wider wrist or forearms. So you can see again, the Velcro strap looks really nice, all full leather construction there. The stitching on the palm looks good. And then right here down the wrist itself, all along on both sides, all the way down to the bottom of the cuff, I'd say you do have about a 1/2 inch layer of EVA foam. So it has a nice firm density to it that really gives you the support around your wrist area once you Velcro these in. And then the inside liner is really nice. You can see it does have this really nice, comfortable polyester satin liner on the inside that doesn't bunch up and keeps your hands nice and cool, but keeps it really nice and comfortable as well. And then you do have this elastic piece that keeps the upper part of the palm side together when you put your hands in there, especially when you have hands wrap on. That way you don't have that big gaping opening sometimes you get if you don't have that elastic piece right here. So quality-wise, overall, it's pretty nice. Would I compare this to Winning and say it's on the same level of Winning? No, the stitching has a little bit left to be desired, and definitely the leather, I wouldn't say is on the same level as Winning. But overall, for a glove that's Pakistan made, I'd say definitely on the upper echelon. I would definitely compare it to some of the Infinitude gloves I've done a review on, some of the higher end title boxing gloves I've done a review on. So, by all means, these are definitely a nice pair of gloves when it comes to quality. Now, comfort is optimal with this glove. Out of all the gloves I've tried, these are probably in my top 3 when it comes to comfort. if not probably one of the most comfortable gloves I've tried on. And when you put your hand in here, the first thing I said was like, wow, these are just super broken in. Like I put my hand in here and it's almost like it's like somebody was wearing them before I was for like a year and broke them in for me. And then I put my hand in here and that's where I started from. Even though it isn't, they're a brand new pair of gloves. But once you put your hand in here, you feel that your thumb is in a perfect position. The finger compartment is excellent. I mean, your fingers are nice and deep. You don't feel like they're overcrowded. You don't feel like your fingers are collapsing on each other. You don't feel like you have an issue with your thumb jamming at the top of the thumb compartment. The piping is nice and roomy to where even with your hand wraps on, this piping doesn't restrict down on your thumb and give you that pressure point. The grip bar is in a perfect spot. The wrist support feels really nice along the wrist area. Everything feels nicely supported and locked in there. But the main thing right here, as you can see, is just how well broken in these gloves are. I mean, I can open and close my hand with relative ease. I mean, there's really no resistance there. And that's what I love about these gloves. It has a nice, real soft touch feel to it. And then the inside liner on the inside hand compartment, again, has that kind of more of a smooth satin feel to it. And I like how they also implemented a piece of satin that goes over the stitching here to kind of give you a little extra grip bar. So you don't get any discomfort on your forefingers when you have your hand inside there and you roll your hand over to make a fist. It really just feels nice and plush on the inside right there. And then just making a fist is excellent. I mean, I can make an excellent fist with this with little to no effort, which I really like. So, I mean, the comfort of these gloves are exceptional. Probably some of the best I've felt in any of the gloves I've tried. And that's where this glove really excels. Now, the protection and performance also with this glove is exceptional. And why I said earlier that I would compare these to winning is just the way they feel when you land a good shot with these. Aside from how comfortable they are like winning, when you land a good shot with these, you can feel the shot being landed. You can see that the punching surface here is not too rounded over. You can see that it has a pretty nice flat and wide punching surface. So you do have a nice area to land on, and you do land on those two front knuckles when you turn your hand over. But you get a really satisfying pop out of these gloves, and you can really lay a lot of power into your shots as well. So you don't feel like you have to sacrifice power with these gloves because you don't have to worry about the foam collapsing on you and your knuckles breaking through on the heavy bag. And so what makes this glove fantastic is you can really use it for everything in the gym. You don't really have to have one glove for sparring and another for heavy bag work. This glove pretty much can do everything. You can hit the mitts with this, go to the heavy bag and wail on the heavy bag and land some heavy shots on it. And then you can go spar with these because, again, the foam is forgiving enough for your sparring partner. And just to show you right there, it does have more of a medium to soft density, but the more the glove compresses, that's when you really get into that protective layer of molded foam on the inside that really protects your hand. So it kind of does a dual purpose of both giving you the feedback that you're looking for and the pop. But once this foam really compresses down, the inner layer of molded foam on the inside is what really disperses the shock at the last minute, right when you make contact with whatever surface you're hitting. So I really like that technology and the fact that you get best of both worlds with the protection and the performance of this glove. And that's what really gave me the highlights of this glove compared to like the C17s or the Win ones, which are all great gloves as well. But if you're trying to say, okay, well, which one it really feels like a winning glove, I would definitely say that these feel and perform more like winning than all of the other gloves I've tried so far. So I really like that a lot. I only wish that they were able to make a lace-up version of this glove. Hopefully they do, and also offer more colors and sizes. Now, cost-wise, that was another issue that I had kind of discussed with the people over at Punch Equipment. These originally retail for $250. Right now, Punch Equipment is actually doing a 20% off for the month of October. So these gloves are about $187 and some change if you were to get them now. At that price point, I actually think they're actually worth the price of $187. Definitely if you're looking for a really nice broken in, winning feelings type of glove that gives you great protection and comfort, this is probably that glove that you're looking for. But I still think that the price is a little bit on the high side, and that especially in that realm of $150 to $200 on up, you're definitely getting to territory where if you're going to spend $250, a lot of people are going to be like, well, you know what, I'll just drop another $50 and get me a pair of winnings, or another $100 and get me a pair of winnings. So I definitely think the price is high considering both of the positives and negatives of the glove. You know, the positive being the comfort and the performance of gloves, but the next being possibly just, you know, the craftsmanship, a little bit loose on the stitching, and maybe just using a little bit higher quality leather. Not to say that this leather isn't great, but if you're going to command that kind of price, then you're going to have to compete at that higher level with some more of the elite tier gloves that do have a much more polished product. But overall, I think these gloves are fantastic for what they are. For the $187, I think they're a great glove. I think they perform fantastic. I think they're right up there with some of the best gloves in terms of how they feel and how they perform. I think they look great. They're not overdone design wise. They look really good. The color blue or the red has a really nice classy look to it with the white offset for the striping right here on the piping. So overall, a really great glove. I think you guys would be really happy if you guys were to try these out and really surprised on how well these perform. So if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you guys leave them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find these Punch Equipment Fuerte Ultra Boxing Gloves. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.